I ran out of time on my last video. I wanted to talk about how to get to know an herb, flower, or plant in your yard, or if you pick it up on a walk, things like this. Of course, if you're picking it up from a place that is a public preserve or something like that, forage responsibly, take only what you need at that point, leave no trace. You get what I'm saying. Like, don't be a dick and start harvesting the whole damn forest. But if you have a yard, you have a whole ecosystem out there to explore. So the first thing I usually do is I get that Picture This app, which is a plant identifier. Take it with a grain of salt, especially when you're identifying poison plants or mushrooms. It's your starting point. So if it looks like something that will give you a rash, a reaction, or something like that, like it says it's poison ivy, but you're like, it doesn't really seem like it is, don't touch it till you get a second opinion from a human being. And also, like, that is not your be-all, end-all. You need a human to lay eyes on it. So my first thing for, like, if I didn't know what a jewelweed was, I'll use that app and I'll be like, oh, it looks like this. It'll show pictures. And I'll be like, okay. And it doesn't have any dupes that will hurt me. Then I will take a bit of the flower or a leaf or something like that with its permission, respectfully, and I'll usually give it an offering, mostly water. Now, I didn't do that today because I didn't have the time to do it properly. So it's on my property. I can do it whenever. I'll do it later. But I can show you the clover when I started working with clover. So this is my working altar. I'm only showing a snippet of my altar for, reasons. But this I picked to work with about 2 years ago. And so I'll pick the plants, I'll put them in a vase, and I'll let them, be flowers, like a bouquet for a while. And I'll meditate with them. Maybe I'll just take the head off. You'll see there's some missing heads and stuff like that. And hold it in my hand as I meditate. Maybe I'll put it on my third eye and I lay down. It's basically to hear the wisdom of the plant. I just try and connect with it. This is a meditative practice. It involves opening up yourself and emptying your own personality all the way out so that the plant medicine or the plant's wisdom and spirit can be heard. Eventually, like if it's an edible one like this, I'll have it as a tea, or, a tincture, make a tincture. Haven't made a tincture from clover yet, but I have had tea. And then I'll dry bundles. I have found that this is very, very magical to increase harmony and peace and loving energy among my children, siblings, they're 3 rowdy boys. So it is a love energy here. And I feel like it's a mama love energy. So that's how I like to see it. It is also used for prosperity. And I mean, it goes hand in hand with the mama love energy because the earth is the source of our abundance and prosperity, not the money. But that's why it works really well in earth-based money spells or earth-based abundance workings. And because it gets you what you need to thrive, not necessarily the dollar bills, y'all, which is the type of money magic I prefer to do rather than asking for dollars and amounts and things like that. I have tried that way. It has mixed results, but also it's not truly what I want, right? It's the things I want is the ability to thrive. And I find that working with clover, that is the herb for that. But basically, so I'll work with one particular herb. If it's new to me, I will work it 30 days. So, daily. If you don't have that time, extend the time period. Work it for longer than 30 days and do it once a week. You could do it maybe 2 months or 3 months and do it once a week. Or if it's every other week, you just do a bi-weekly check-in, bi-monthly check-in. Whatever it works for you, but you have to do the consistency. You can't just sit with it once. These plants have a lot of wisdom, They are still connected to their roots and their ancestors, the mycelial network, and they hold it all. So when you're working with an herb and you're not necessarily trained in herbalism and all the things, it's really, really important that you don't overload your own knowledge and wisdom and you take it slow. Doing things the long way is a lost art, and this is a great way to retrain it in your ability to slow everything down and then have the results at the end that are far more superior than the quick and easy answers on Google, AI, or, TikTok. There's no harm or foul or judgment on looking for the quick answers, because I Google things too, but don't take that as the end point. That's not the end point. That is just the starting point. And that's my rant on learning, learning from the spirits of the plants themselves and the earth. So of course, this is not to shame anyone's practice who does things differently. This is my personal practice. I have found more stable and successful results doing things the long way, the slow way. And that is why I am 43. And, a new face on the scene, because I took the slow, long way. And it's also a similar approach to what we do with the sacred oils in my tradition as a scent priestess. We sit with one blend for a month. I've also done devotionals to certain oils, single oils. Opopanox was the only one I actually did because I was fascinated by it. Opopanox oil is associated with shapeshifters, so of course, but it's a sweet myrrh, and it has a really unusual smell that it's one of those, you either love it or you hate it. I adore it, but it's very sticky and very viscous and thick, and it's a beautiful oil. So if you're not familiar, I highly recommend learning and working with that one. But yeah, so I wanted to just share that not only do you not have to buy your ingredients, unless of course you want to and you're able, but working with what is provided even today in this world that seems like it's on fire, that it's collapsing, ecological collapse and catastrophe, climate catastrophe is around the corner. But if you go out and you touch these things and you speak with them and you work with them slowly and you appreciate them, what's right there, it reminds you that it's not all done and collapsed. It's not gone yet. And just working with that instead of buying commercialized farmed herbs and stuff, it gets you reconnected into remembering why we are still fighting. So there is resistance in just using what's outside your door. And I do realize the privilege I have in having acreage and being able to verify my things as pesticide free and, chemical free and all that kind of stuff. And the ground is pretty well regulated. I mean, as much as it is these days. But I know I'm not alone in that. And also, this is for people who forage, who like to forage or want to start doing it. So those things like the invasive species, ask permission if you're going on somebody's property first. Always ask permission. But if it's in a public area, be discreet. I'm not telling you to go steal plants or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Be smart. Use your brain. But also just look in your yards and your things. And if they're in a high traffic area of where things may be dumped and sprayed, if you still want to learn the essence of the flower, you can still use it. Just don't eat it, and be careful of your contact. Everything has a purpose and is not wasted. And that is what this is about. Anyway, take care of yourselves and each other. I love you, bye. I'm loving my dog. Love you, bye. Say bye. She's so itchy.